I had some nice tea for my throat, and we're back to the investigation. I was a little bit lost and looked at a guide to see if I had missed something, and I did miss something because I know that I need to get one thing from Juan Corrida's room to unlock old Bags' side locks, but I can't do that yet. But I did miss something else in this room. Oops, wrong button once again. This is a guitar case, I guess. A little beat up, but still usable.
That's strange. The guitar's not here.
Maybe he forgot to bring it to the show? I don't know, you'd think he would notice that the guitar case was feeling a little less heavy than it usually did.
But Mystic Maya, she said the bright red guitar was the Jammin' Ninja's signature item.
Compared to the, as I already mentioned, blue-red outfit he was wearing, it was the guitar that made the ninja. That's true. The guitar case is wet, but it's only wet on top of the lid.
Yeah, there's no water inside the case. This is water, isn't it?
You want to give it a lick to see?
What's that beeping noise, Mr. Nick?
I've heard this sound somewhere before. It's Miss Von Karma.
Huh?
Whenever I hear that sound, for some reason she pops out of nowhere and whips me. Come to think of it, that did happen the last time. Sorry, I've got to make myself scarce. Later, pal! Ow!
At last, you reveal your true nature, Mr. Phoenix, right?
Oh. Would it be too much to ask for you to be nice to me for a change?
So you're the type to steal information from pitifully hopeless detectives. That's very dishonorable of you!
Ow!
Don't you dare run away, Scruffy McTrenchcoat!
Oh. You know, Scruffy McTrenchcoat? Sounds like the sort of name used for one of the people in the Sex Kitten video games I've seen. Oh well.
I didn't think the detectives of this country could be this pitiful.
Ugh.
Detective, come over here for a second.
I want to learn where Franziska learned how to use her whip.
I feel better knowing at least you were man enough to face your punishment.
He was so scared he just froze up on the spot.
Mr. Phoenix, right! You have soiled my perfect prosecution record.
For the second time, technically.
I'll never forget that. This time, victory is mine.
Victory is yours? Is that all this means to you?
What? Come, Scruffface. The investigation briefing is about to begin.
Yes, sir.
This isn't over yet. I swear on my family's honor.
Ow.
Now what did you throw at me?
What is this? This is the thing that I needed. Well, I guess this means I've got to get back to the present now, pal. If you ever need me, come down to the Criminal Affairs Department, alright? And if you can, try to not let Miss Von Karma see you. Well, I have two things that I needed in this room, so... Wait, I didn't pick it up. God damn it! You know, usually when people throw something at Phoenix, he'll pick it up and it's automatically added to the court record. But no, this time I have to pick it up myself.
Mr. Nick, what's this piece of paper?
It's called an autograph.
Autograph?
It's got Mr. Corrida's name written on it, so it's his autograph. Auto self-graph writing. I'm pretty sure that's what it meant. Yes, I think so. I can't read it at all. Yeah, it looks more like Peven or Peon is being written in there. Oh well.
To be honest, I've never seen writing that looks like this.
It's a special way of writing called cursive. Damn right it's cursive. Look here, see how it says to my dearest Wendy in more normal letters here?
This sloppy, unreadable writing. It's crazy and cruel to give this to someone.
Hold on. Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before. Well, whatever. Now I have it, so I can proceed. Still locked? Still locked. Very nice. Alright, I'll be honest with you for now. Then please, tell us what you saw. But, what a waste! And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun at your youngin's expense. Because I am a little devil after all. Doesn't that imply you aren't a good person? Alright, I'll give you what you want. I feel dirty reading that. That's Juan's autograph! Yes, it is. And it even says to my dearest Wendy on it. That's me, right? Right? My name is Wendy Oldback, so that Wendy has to be me, right? I'm sure you're the only person who is still called Wendy in the world? Well, it may say Wendy, but somehow I don't think Juan had this Wendy in mind when he signed it. Oh, please, give it to me! Let me have it, please! This is just getting all sorts of wrong. Please stop talking like you're in a porno. I can't let you have it just like that. Yes, I know, then how about an exchange? By the way, this is pretty much the easiest psych lock in the entire game. I feel bad for you now. Huh? I tell you, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Juan's room. You're kidding.
Oh
no. Oh yes. It was about 10 minutes before Juan's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet minding my own business. And? Did you tell that to the police? Well, of course! I thought I could get a gift certificate or two out of it, maybe more.
Gift certificate?
I've been recruited again for that part of the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. No. Please, no. This time you're gonna get it. I'm gonna work hard to get your client pronounced guilty.
But Mr. Hongad hasn't done anything bad.
I don't care about details like that. I know he did my dog. Dear poor Juan in. I just do. That yellow-bellied chicken.
A yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like.
Think yellow-spotted lizards from holes. Only not that deadly. I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it. What did Mr. Hongad ever do to her to deserve this? He wasn't as awesome as Juan for her. What did Mr. Onga do to you to make you so...
You don't know? That guy, he framed my Juan. He created that scandal that plagued poor Juan.
Mr. Nick... What is it?
It's a scandal.
Oh, I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay?
No?
A scandal, sweetie, is when something is known to the public and they think it's something very bad. Although it probably isn't something bad. And people are just overreacting to it. See, that took me, what, 20-25 seconds to explain that, so there we are. It's really not that difficult, Phoenix.
Poor Juan, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress.
Mr. Nick, what do wiles and wild temptress mean? A woman who uses her good looks and personality to get what she wants. Duh! How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, Pearls? So, Miss Oldbag, who is this woman you're talking about?
Adrian Andrews, of course! Who else?
I thought you were going to talk about Celeste.
That guy, he shoved the girl into Juan on purpose!
His own manager? But why?
I thought lawyers were smart! I was here to create a scandal to make Juan lose face! That girl drove Juan to a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud!
Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag?
I'm one of Juan's biggest fans! I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know.
And do you have proof that Mr. Onga did what you say he did?
Next week, just over a certain magazine said so.
Of course. A tabloid.
Next week? Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet?
Why would Miss Oldbag have information like that? And where did she get it? Yeah, yeah, I don't care what you have to say about that. Or do I have to go to the Criminal Affairs Department? I think I have to go to the Criminal Affairs Department for now. Oops, that was the wrong one. Oh, whatever. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing.
Yeah. Oh, he's back!
Hey, so you came, pal. Why the blunt greeting? Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight. But, you can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. What can you tell me about the guitar case? Oh, that. This is just what I heard, pal, but that's the Jama Ninja signature item. The guitar inside, not the case.
But the guitar wasn't in his hotel room.
Yeah, we looked for it too. It's not normal for a person to forget to bring their most famous item to an award show. It's starting to sound like that red guitar is related to this case after all. We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves. The scandal with Mr. Corrida? But why? Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide.
Suicide?
Her name was Celeste Impax. And she was Juan Corrida's manager. The victim's manager? But that's not all, pal. Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one.
Her mentor...
A woman who was both Mr. Corrida's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case? Do you want to know more about her, pal?
Of course I do.
So what do you mean the evidence is airtight? I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's 2 big pieces.
2?
And both of them are in this photo. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the button that you found during your body search of Mr. Ongat. Yep, I found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai special pants. And the second one is? The knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact.
Fingerprints? Whose are they?
You didn't even have to ask, little Missy. It's obvious. They're Matt Ongart's. Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony? It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag. I thought so. What do you mean you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal?
Well...
And I even told you to not open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone.
Her blab knob is stuck on 10, there's no turning it down, trust me.
So it isn't like Spinal Tap where it can go up to 11? She saw Mr. Ongard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death.
Did she say Mr. Ongard or the Nickel Samurai? No way! Now let's talk about Celeste.
She was the victim's manager and was also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence. Whoa!
I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another.
Miss von Karma?
You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst.
You don't mean...
I do. Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's...
Wait, please, wait, sir. If I don't get this month's pay, I'll...
Quiet! If it weren't for traitors like you...
I would have won. Is that what you want to say?
Who?
That voice... Edgeworth!
Oh my god, it's Edgeworth! I totally knew he wouldn't be dead. Yes, Edgeworth is back! I finally have my eye candy to look at again.
Boy, am I happy about this. It's been a long time, right?
This is Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, he is. What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Franziska.
You... How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You have soiled the von Karma name and dragged it through the mud. Run away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog that you are.
Are you talking about the von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way? The video's doing that again.
What is wrong with OBS doing that? Jeez!
Then let's hear it, Franziska. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country.
You...
You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back.
Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix right. I will see you tomorrow in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory.
Still the same wild mare she always was. I'm glad that you're back. We know that Phoenix isn't very glad about you being back, but he's just sore that you didn't contact him for a year. I have no interest in talking about useless evidence. Put a little more thought into what you show me, Phoenix right. Still as stuck up as ever. Let's talk first. I thought you, the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died.
Mr. Nick!
I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So, no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. See, Phoenix? Even if he didn't contact you for a year, Edgeworth never stopped loving you. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definite that you lack. And that's the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available for you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with my information. Just what is going on inside his head? A lot of things may have happened. However, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor. And a perfect win record is proof of a von Karma. 1 year ago, you couldn't establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. This coming from the guy who, as we learn in the next game, sole reason, or as we learned in the previous game, his sole reason for going to lawyer school was so he could see Edgeworth again. It'd have been better for everyone if it had never come back from the dead Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, if it was Franziska, she would almost definitely say, I will defeat you this time, the instant she saw me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client. To save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals. Those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy. There's someone like you, Edgeworth. It looks like there's still a lot you have to learn. A lot I have to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. And he's been added, that is very nice. We are looking into leads, but we can only look into a few key players with our limited resources. There's no reason for us to waste our energy investigating this person. Why don't you just tell it to me straight and say I don't have any info? Phoenix, that's just his way of doing foreplay. Just wait until evening. This woman is another key to the case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but suddenly she was called away by production and became Juan Corrida's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impax died. But her death was a suicide, right? Yes. But there's still one riddle left unsolved. A riddle? Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Can I just say that... Okay, I haven't really looked into this, but I don't think suicide notes are a necessity to commit suicide. Sometimes they leave one, sometimes they don't. So really, it shouldn't matter that much. No, okay, you don't have anything to say about your little sister, if you will. She holds a large secret within herself. A secret? You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her. It doesn't really. Yeah, we do not need to know anything about her. While I was abroad, these deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it. Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto. Refreshing? What is so refreshing about a spring breeze? Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year. Haha! Edgeworth has allergies. There is an interesting rumor about this man. You mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? But that's pretty common tabloid fare, isn't it? I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found. Anything to say about Dickie? No. Poor Dickie. Miss Impax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impax had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however, we did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. Okay, it's been years since I've used a pen. I think I last used it for the finals in my high school, but I don't remember getting ink stains on my fingers. But who would hide such a thing? The police thinks it was Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? He was the one who found the body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Corrida hid his own manager's suicide note? But why? As long as your note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is a suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1? Of course, this is a point where I read that some people had some trouble. This says Part 1, and then they ended up getting stuck at this part because they didn't know what they had to do. Turns out you have to present this to Miles Edgeworth so you get the second part. Kind of stupid, but he did mention it was Part 1. I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That one has 2. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here's the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name... Adrian Andrews?
Miss Andrews? What did she do?
She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try and kill herself. Do you have any idea how many people have said that about people who have attempted suicide or did do suicide? It's always like, they didn't seem like the type to do it. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide.
A secret?
Her codependency. That's the key word. Codependency. The word most unsuited to describing that woman. We didn't get the second part, but I think we have to talk to him before we get that. So, how are Adrian Andrews and codependency related? Adrian Andrews' attempted suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impax. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Quite possibly because she had lost her will to live. Lost her will? But why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Impax, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that...
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is a person who looks for someone she can trust unconditionally, and when she finds that someone, she blindly follows them. Without someone to guide her, she feels uneasy and can't carry herself through life. And that's her codependency? When Celeste Impax suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then that means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. I'm kind of wondering, considering she seems fine pretending to be her mentor's personality, I don't know, doesn't that sort of take care of her codependency? Of course I know it doesn't really, but still. Yeah, on a recent forum topic, somebody thought that, they say that Adrian's attempted suicide was most likely trying to hang herself, like Celeste died. But I somehow have this feeling that it was mentioned that she tried to cut her wrist or something. I could be wrong, so I'm gonna try to pay some attention to that, but it's likely that we are not gonna be told what it is, so hanging herself might be a possibility. It's such a cliché saying, but it's a cliché because it's true. Miss Andrews, to think that behind that unwavering, brave front, she's been hiding this weakness and fear. Well, let's be total bitches and shove her weakness in her face and get it to the surface. Because, that's what we have to do. Because Phoenix is a dick.
Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Franziska von Karma.
Miss von Karma?
What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so...
You've got some nerve following me around.
Following you?
That's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
Pearls?
You're always following after that detective with the little beard.
Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. I'll show you something interesting. little girl.
What is that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on the detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move. So that noise we heard was the receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now.
Now then.
Let's stop wasting time.
Adrian Andrews?
Yes?
Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood?
Alright. What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
Well, there's a sword nearby. Okay, let's skip this since we got there last time. Wasn't it for Celeste? But I especially dislike feeble-minded individuals. Yes, well... that's why I don't think I could ever be intimate with you. So I guess she's saying I'm both depressing and stupid? But I am certain you were very close with the victim. Say that all you like, but you still don't have any proof. Oh, right, I had to do this first, whatever. A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people bought into this story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. And morons. Note to self, stay on her good side. What is wrong with OBS? Why is it doing this? It only recently started this. Was it one of the automatic updates? I deleted the old Let's Play videos that I don't need anymore. Celeste Impacts, your mentor. Why do you know about Celeste? Miss Impacts, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So I believe you got close to Miss Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. Miss Andrews? There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing. Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way your suicide was resolved. Miss Impact's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like, maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Corrida.
Juan?
And, Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida. I sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the life of others. That's the impression you'd like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impax was someone very special to you. Miss Andrews, you went through it too, didn't you? Went through what? A suicide. Technically a suicide attempt. If she managed to do a suicide and go through with it, she wouldn't be here. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, and you live by yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that is all just a lie, a facade. Stealing Edgeworth's words again? You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. You were dependent on Miss Impax, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding Miss Impax's note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was, why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the most likely to want Mr. Corrida dead. Me? Miss Impax was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder? It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small, and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. Build your own confidence? It's a way. I've pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Something I want to say. I forget what this track is called, but it's basically the samurai song done slowly. It's okay, it's nice enough, but meh, I still prefer the fast version. Miss Andrews. This one thing. It's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret. Mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? No, I think you're weak. But that doesn't mean that you're worthless. Please, Miss Andrews, all I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Corrida. Celeste, without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me. Don't worry, I have my phases like that. After a while it passes. So you got close to Mr. Corrida to recover her suicide note, correct? Looks like that tablet reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposely add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. The you that you're pretending to be, or the you that you actually are? You mean you don't have self-confidence enough to do things, but you are self-confident enough to burn a note? I can't wrap my head around that. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so I understand. I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret.
Miss Andrews.
If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. Oh, alright, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the always thinking type. She never says anything carelessly, it seems. Thank you very much.
Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
That card? Oh, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding? Oh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag. What is it? It looks like a seashell? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. Her not remembering something clearly? Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence. Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Engard in your capable hands. My capable hands are for Edgeworth only. What the hell was that game just now? It jumped. And I mean, it's my game itself, not the recording. Although the recording is being annoying again too. Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all and has been walking all over the place with me today. I will admit I would like the idea that you have kind of been carrying her everywhere. It would be cute.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh, no. I'm okay, really. I'm fine, I really am.
You don't look fine to me. I guess that means I'm supposed to go back to the office. Bye, Will.
So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive. Motive isn't enough to declare someone guilty for murder.
You mean Miss Impax's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever.
Mr. Nick, the transceiver!
Hello? This is the law office of Wright & Co. Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone. Maya! Where's Maya? As I promised, I have not come within a few feet of her this whole time. Which is why I suppose she is absolutely famished. What? So I suggest you win a quick acquittal for my friend. At any cost. Wouldn't you agree? Wait! Maya, let me hear her. Very well.
Ask my...
Maya? Maya, is that you?
Sis! Ask my sis!
Maya? Maya! Damn it, he cut me off!
Mystic Maya said ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis? What does she mean by that? I don't know, what is a sis? Oh man, if she had only ever talked about a sis before. Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Oh, sorry. Ah! Mia! I have a message from Maya, so come, ask me anything you want about her. I'm pretty sure presenting anything will not help. The kidnapper, what's he like? I don't know. Apparently, Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And? she didn't see the face of her attacker. How is Maya? She's safe. For now. The kidnappers want to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe. But, Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like this. Pretty smart of her. It's not the first time it's going to be used like that. Also, what a kind kidnapper Tequila is. He left her some pen and paper to draw around with, I guess. At least he makes sure she's not bored. Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not gonna die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. Drat, it's locked. But this door's lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I have no idea how they do that, since, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me. But, whatever. It feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here. And these feel like barrels. I'll pass. Too bad I'm really hungry, and not really thirsty. If you had some milk, I would suggest to drink that. It can help make you feel less hungry for a while. Someone dropped a card here. It kinda looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. That's it! The shell card! If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius! Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting. Or worried.